good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you see this live, this is your guy Ray coming to you live all the way from here. Where's here, right? Chill. Welcome to Exodus Life Change Podcast. Listen, I need to get some housekeeping out the way real quick. What I need you to do, I need you to hit that subscription button. I need you to hit that notification button. I need you to leave a comment. I need to come right back. My bad, I had to get my water. Hey, welcome. How, hey, listen. Where's my men at? Where's my men at? Ladies, you are always welcome. But here at Exodus Life Change, it's about changing the mindset and changing the trajectory of men to walk in purpose, to walk holy, to walk righteous, to be better men of God, to be better husbands, fathers, to be better to ourselves, that we can be better for you. That's what we want to do, ladies. We want to get better for ourselves, be more of men of God, walk in purpose, walk a holy life, that we can be better for you. So, we've been talking about purpose. I'm going to talk about 7 principles of purpose. 7 principles of purpose. And like I told you, we're going to do a more in-depth thing on purpose of the church, purpose of for people, what God's true purpose is. But we're going to talk about the 7 principles of purpose. Ephesians chapter 1 verse 11 says, God works out everything in conformity with the purpose of his will. So we do understand this, that our purpose is God's will. It's the purpose that God has for our life. Not the purpose that I want for myself, because I tried, listen, 20 years, I have evidence of 20 years of walking in my purpose. And those 20 years got me homeless, in prison, on drugs, walking in the kingdom of Satan like I was his boy. I'm just saying. So you got to understand, like the source of many of our problems in this world is that we have lost our understanding, right, of what it means to be human as God created us. And I'm going to keep saying this, man. We keep talking about masculinity. That's not something God purposed for us to be. He purposed for us to be human, to be able to walk in his purpose. Masculinity, I'll keep saying it, is the world system. It had me seeking after something or trying to be something that God never intended me to be. And it wound up having me, and not making no excuses, being in prison, being on drugs, being homeless, because I couldn't live up to the stigma. And the more I couldn't live up to the stigma, and the more I believed the lie that the enemy was telling me about how I should be based on masculinity, based on who I am as a man, right? What is the true manhood of a man, right? And I never could live up to it. So it took me deeper and deeper into who I wasn't, deeper and deeper into drugs, women, sex, all that crazy stuff. See, because we have lost our sense of purpose, and when I say lost my sense of purpose, God told me my purpose. I just didn't pay it no mind. I wanted to do my own thing. Do your thing. Do what you want to do. I can't tell you who to sock it to, and that's who I was. That's how I was living. Because I'm convinced that, listen, not just me, not just here in America, but in every country in the world, both men and women, we're suffering from an ignorance of purpose. We don't have a clue why we're here. We don't know the intention that God has for us on this earth. And see, the best thing for us to do is discover and live in the original plan of the one who created us. The one who created us in humanity. The one who created us human. We have to discover and live in that original plan. What is the original plan that God has for your life? There's a purpose and plan that he specifically has for you. Only when we learn the inherent nature and rights of men and women, so both that male and female can live in freedom and fulfillment. Until we understand this, what is our nature as a man? What is our nature as a woman? Right? As women. So both men, women, male, female. Right? At that point, when we understand the nature that we have, the nature of God, we understand the wisdom of God, we understand the purpose of God, we understand the plan of God. We can be free, and our life can be fulfilled. Listen, I was not free thinking I was living in purpose, the purpose of my life that I was doing. I was bound to an 8 block radius because I couldn't go outside that barrier, outside of where I was getting my drugs from. Every now and then I would shift to another neighborhood, but I was comfortable in this one fear of influence of negativity. And I was bound and gripped up in that particular area. And there was no need for me to leave that area because everything in that area I could do. I could rob, cheat, steal, get high, find women, do all those things. I was locked up. I was a prisoner in an area, and I was a prisoner in my mind. So we're going to talk about the following 7 principles of purpose will help us understand God's original intent for us in creation. We were created to do something, and the only way we'll understand what we were created to do, we have to go to the Creator. We can't go we can't go to the creation to tell us how we're supposed to be, what we're supposed to be, what we were created for. You have to go to the Creator. So let me go over these 7 principles of purpose. Number 1, God is a God of purpose. Ain't no accidents happening here, y'all. Ain't no accidents happening here because God is a God of purpose. Everything he does has a purpose, has a plan, right? You ain't no accident. You might have been born out of wedlock. You might have been in a single family home. But listen, you still have a purpose and plan. God still has a purpose and plan for you. Listen, whatever the enemy is telling you, whatever you're hearing people are telling you, you was never intended, you were never wanted, you were accident, I didn't plan on getting pregnant, all those stuff. God had a purpose before you were in your mother's womb for your life. Number 2, God created everything with a purpose. I don't care how low you are, how low I got. I understood. One day I was in the crack house, which was my house, right, that I was staying in, right. Well, actually, it was a room, right. And I'm sitting there, and I looked around, and something inside of me said, "I'm better than this." See, purpose will keep you alive. Purpose kept me alive. There's something that God wanted me to do. So many times I faced the possibility of not seeing the next moment. Not to forget about the next day. I'm talking about the next moment. But purpose kept me alive. And I because I didn't think I existed for no reason. Even no matter what I was thinking, God always knew that I had a purpose, and He wasn't being intimidated. He wasn't going to let me walk away. He wasn't going to. I could run, I could hide, but it didn't change the fact He still had a. I was created to do a specific thing here on earth, just like you. You were created to do a specific thing. There's a void in the earth, and God is using you to fill that void. Number 3, not every purpose is known to us because we have lost our understanding of God's original intent for us. I didn't know, look, those 20 years, I didn't know why I was here because I didn't have an understanding of what God's intention for me was. So it was impossible for know why I was created because I got away from the Creator. I didn't understand that I was placed here specifically to do something for somebody, and that somebody was God. I, I, God told me who I was before I was in my mother's womb. When I came down here and got lost, I forgot the conversation I had with God. Number 4, where purpose is not known, as abuse is inevitable. Listen, for 20 years, because I didn't know why I was created, because I didn't understand my purpose, for 20 years, I abused myself, I abused others, I abused my family. Anything I came in contact with, I abused because I did not have a clue who I was. I was trying to live a life of doing things that I needed to do. And the things I needed to do was try to get high, try to find women, try to do this, try to do that. And everybody I came in contact with, I used. Think about this. We all in these crack houses getting high and everything. And they look at me and say, man, you need to get some help. Now, mind you, we all getting high doing the same thing. But I had crossed the line because I understood one thing. You know, they tell you, you know how you got to play the game. You got to play the game when you're out there. Well, there's people like me, we stepped across the line. It wasn't no game no more. I purposely woke up to do what I needed to do. If you gave me your money, expect for me to beat you. Number 5, to discover the purpose of something, never ask the creation, ask the creator. Now, mind you, everybody's trying to tell me what I need to do and what you need to do, and I need help, and I'm going to this person, I'm going to that person, I'm doing this rehab, I'm doing this detox. Now, the detox and rehabs and therapy, that I'm not saying that's bad, but I had to come to the creator. The person who created me is the only one that can tell me why I was here. And that everyone got these lights, bright lights, but he's the only one that can tell me why I'm here. He can only tell me my purpose. He can only tell me the plan. He can only show me my destiny. Nobody else can do that. And I was going to everybody else, looking in women, looking in this person and that person, looking in this guy, and none of that stuff worked. Until I came to God and say, look, why am I here? And on that second floor fire escape, I realized why I'm here. After I'm converted, go back and strengthen your brothers. That means my purpose was to go through life the way I went through those 20 years of drugs, alcohol, trauma, all those things, so that I could go back and feel every infirmary of people who are just like me, to go back and pull them out and show them like this is what worked for me, and Christ is the answer. Number 6, we find our purpose only in the mind of our Maker. Listen, I'm going to say it again. We find our purpose only in the mind of our Maker, meaning he gave us the instructions. He uses the Bible as our instruction manual. He tells us exactly what he wants us to do. He tells us how to do certain things. He tells us when to do certain things. He tells us where to do certain things. Which brings me into why I am here. And the reason why I'm here, and my purpose and the plan, and how I'm to operate in that purpose. How am I to follow that plan? And number 7, God's purpose is the key to our fulfillment. Until I found out why I was here, I was walking aimlessly. I felt lost and turned out. I know I was lost and turned out. And you hear me say that I thought it was no meaning for my existence. But when I found out on that second floor fire escape what he wanted me to do here on earth, what my purpose is, what the plan he has for me, and look, the purpose never pertains to me because it's his will, it's his purpose in my life that I need to form, that I need to follow, that gives me a fulfilling life. It's his purpose in your life if you follow it, if you follow the plan that gives your life fulfillment. Not the job, not the woman, not the wife, not the kids, not the money, none of that stuff, right? Because I had all that stuff and still was lost and turned out. See, because God is a purposeful being. God is a purposeful being. He purposes, he plans, and then he carries out his plans. I'm going to say that again. God is a purposeful being. He purposes, he plans, and then he carries out his plans. Because God always knew what he wanted. Watch this. Say that. I'm going to read this. Let me read it. God always knew what he wanted to create before he made it. Wow. He already knew. In his mind, he already knew what he wanted to create. The world, destiny, everything that's happening today in your life, he already knew. He knew it before it happened. He knew it before it happened. Listen, he made it. It's that simple. Because he always knows what he wants to carry out before he accomplishes it. We should know what it is God wants in our life before we can accomplish it. He lets us know certain areas, certain times. You do this and this is what's going to happen. And see, this theme is found all out through the Bible, which we consider God's handbook, or should I say his manual for our lives. So let me give you some various expressions of his purposeful nature. Genesis chapter 1, verse 3 says, "And God said, let there be light, and there was light." Psalms chapter 33, verse 11 says, "The plans of the Lord stand firm forever, the purposes of his heart through all generations." Isaiah chapter 14, verse 24, "The Lord Almighty has sworn, surely as I have planned, so it will be, and I have purposed, so it will happen." Wow, let me say that again. Isaiah chapter 14, write this down, verse 24. The Lord Almighty has sworn, surely as I have planned, so it will be. Woo! And he planned, he has a purpose and plan for, he has sworn, surely as I have planned your life, surely it will be. As I have purposed, so it will happen. I gotta stop there. God has sworn that he has a plan for your life, that he has a purpose for life, and it will happen no matter what the enemy does, no matter what your job says, no matter what your wife says, family, friends, the world, all creation. God said he has sworn that he has a plan for your life, and the purpose will happen no matter what. And when I grasp that, people can't stop me. The world can't stop me. The world system can't change me. He can't. Listen, I'm telling you, get this. This plan, no matter what's been happening in your life these last 20 years, these last 10 years, these last 5 years, these last 5 minutes, God is not intimidated of your shortcomings. God is not intimidated of your character defects. God is not intimidated of your flaws. He understands all those things. God is not intimidated because you've been running behind this woman, you've running behind Satan. He has a plan for your life. He has a purpose that will happen. Surely I have a plan, he said, so it will be. Man, get that. I got to stop there. Man, I caught that. Man, you catch that thing. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 24. I got to read it again. The Lord Almighty has sworn. God has sworn. Surely as I have planned, so it will be. And as I have purposed, so it will happen. Man, you can't stay no stopping us now. God's on the move. Hey, yeah, 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 yeah. Man, you can't be stopped. Understand when we turn our life over to God, we're going to have these hills and valleys. But guess what? It still's not going to stop the purpose and plan that God has for our life. Once we get in his will, once we let him lead us and guide us into all truth, not just truth about the word, but truth about who we are and why we are here. Let him guide you so that you can go inward and see who you are before the foundation of the earth, before you were in your mother's womb, the conversation you had with God in heaven before you came down here on earth. I'm telling you, the plan that he told you, the purpose, he purposely told you what it is he wanted you to do. And he dropped us in this body. And you can do it. And I can do it. Brothers, God has a purpose and plan for your life. And it's got to happen. We got to step back and allow God to be God, that we can see him high and lifted up, that we can see his glory fill the temple, that we can let his characteristics and all that he has for us manifest itself here on earth, that he gets the glory. Hey, look, this guy Ray coming to you live all the way from here. We is here, right? Cheers! And like we always say here on Exodus Life Change, God loves you and I love you. And guess what? Ain't nothing you can do about it. Peace out. Holla.